The case of the Akademovsky-Molochniki, Artem Anufriev and Nikita Lytkin, is considered one of the most horrific in the history of modern Russia, not because of the number of victims, although there were many, but because of its absolute lack of motive and protocol cruelty. Artem Alexandrovich Anufriev, born October 4, 1992, and Nikita Vakhtangovich Lytkin, March 24, 1993 to November 30, 2021, were Russian serial killers, also known as the Akademovsky-Molochniki and the Irkutsk-Molochniki. Between November 2010 and April 2011, they committed 17 attacks in the Irkutsk Akademgorodok, including 6 murders. Both perpetrators grew up in the Irkutsk Akademgorodok. Nikita Lytkin, quiet, withdrawn, he grew up fatherless. He was bullied at school. His mother tried to overprotect him, which only fueled his internal aggression. Artem Anufriev, an intellectual who considered himself superior to others. He was an active member of right-wing online communities. They were united by their hatred of ordinary people and a desire to prove their exceptionalism through violence. They formed the musical group Dismembered Pugacheva, whose lyrics glorified murder. They called their outings hunts. The scenario was always the same. They stalked their victims in unlit areas, came up behind them, and struck them with a mallet or hammer, striking them on the back of the head. November 14, 2010. First attack. The girl survived, but suffered a severe head injury. The perpetrators became frightened and fled. December 1st, 2010. First death. 12-year-old Danil Semenov. The blows were inflicted with a hammer. Investigators mistakenly assumed the boy had fallen down a slide and hit a tree. This error gave the killers free rein. December 16th, 2010. Murder of Olga Pirog, Research Institute employee. More than 30 stab wounds were found on her body. December 29th, 2010. Attack on a pregnant woman. She managed to fight back, but lost her baby. February to March 2011. Another series of murders of homeless people and random passers-by. Victims were chosen based on the principle of those who cannot fight back. The investigation revealed a terrifying detail. They weren't just killing, they were collecting emotions. 1. Recordings of conversations. Audio recordings were found on their computers, where they discussed how someone feels when they're hit with a hammer. 2. Photos and videos. They took photographs of the crime scenes the next day to observe how the police worked. 3. Social media. Anufriev actively participated in a VKontakte group dedicated to the serial killer Pichushkin, and even gave other users advice on how to correctly attack. In April 2011, Lytkin and Anufriev attacked a woman. After the murder, they videotaped the mutilation of the body, cutting off parts of her ear. How they were found. Nikita Lytkin's uncle decided to transfer photos from his video camera to his computer and discovered a horrific video. He immediately took the flash drive to the police. During the search, they found 6 hammers, engraved knives, Anufriev's notebook with plans for cleaning the city, bloody clothes, which they kept as trophies. The trial was closed due to the brutality of the materials. Anufriev behaved defiantly in court. He cried and begged for forgiveness, then claimed he was pressured by the investigation, and then wrote complaints about the conditions of his detention. Artem Anufriev. Life imprisonment. Serving his sentence in the Vologda Pyatak, one of the strictest penal colonies in Russia. Nikita Lytkin. sentenced to 24 years, as he was a minor at the beginning of the series. In 2021, he committed suicide in the penal colony. Case outcome. The Molochniki case showed that modern serial killers aren't necessarily the dregs of society. They could be a well-read teenager from the next apartment who draws motivation from destructive online groups. Interesting fact. The forensic examination found both to be completely sane. In other words, they were aware of their actions and consciously enjoyed them. The Akademovsky-Molochniki case became one of the first and most compelling arguments for Russian authorities that online communities can be more than just a place for discussion, but a real tool for radicalizing young people. It was with the example of Anufriev and Lytkin that forensic experts and legislators began to develop a strategy to combat destructive content. Until 2011, law enforcement agencies rarely took seriously teenagers who wrote about their hatred of humanity or admired serial killers on social media. What changed? The investigation proved that Anufriev didn't just read public pages. He was an administrator and active member of groups promoting violence, such as "We are gods, we decide who lives." Result: security services began monitoring closed communities and chats for criminal intent, not just for existing posts. The Molochnik case indirectly spurred the adoption of a number of laws regulating the internet. The fight against death groups and Columbine communities. Although these phenomena flourished later, the legal foundation, the possibility of pretrial blocking for calls to violence and suicide, was laid based on the experience of the Irkutsk case. The Sovereign Runet law and increased oversight of VK. The social network VKontact was required to respond more quickly to complaints and remove content glorifying real criminals. Forensic scientists coined the term Werther effect, imitation, for serial killers. Anufriev openly admitted that he was inspired by Alexander Pichushkin, the Bitsa serial killer. This led to the media receiving unspoken and later legislative recommendations not to romanticize criminals, not to publish their manifestos, and not to turn them into stars of the media. After this case, automated systems, for example, developed by government-affiliated IT companies, began to develop in Russia that analyzed the profiles of school children and students. Markers: use of specific slang, interest in certain historical figures, maniacs, dictators, depressive or aggressive visual content. Prevention. Now, if a teenager shows an abnormal interest in the topic of mass murders online, the information can be passed on to school psychologists or juvenile delinquency inspectors. Interestingly, Anufriev still tries to communicate with the outside world through letters from prison, which sometimes leak online. This forces the authorities to tighten their control over communication channels even within the Federal Penitentiary Service to prevent the creation of new fan clubs around life-sentenced prisoners. I'm just starting this journey, and every like or kind word in the comments is like a warm cup of tea on a cold day. If you resonate with what I do, stay with me. Let's grow together. Your support is my inspiration.